Now, there's some additional work that we need to do, and that brings me to a couple of visuals that I want to present to you, because probably the greatest deficit in terms of the functionality of our campus is in our sports and recreation facilities. Alumni Gym, where so many of you enjoyed that short little 20-yard swimming pool, was built in the very early part of the 20th century, so it's over 100 years old, and it was built at a time when there were less than 20% as many students on this campus as there are today, and there were no female students at all. Then along came Harrington, that's the building with the basketball gym in, and that was built in about 1967. In fact, it was completed just at the time when WPI began welcoming female students to the undergraduate population. Now think of what I just said. I just said we haven't built a locker room on this campus since women were admitted here as students. And we've just admitted a freshman class where 31% of those students are females, and females are as active athletically and with respect to fitness and recreation and competition at a very high level in varsity sports as the men are. In fact, our women's basketball team not only won their league last year, they won the ECA tournament at the end of the season. So competition in sports is a very important attribute of the quality of life at WPI, and our facilities are just not nearly appropriate to support this size student body or this degree of interest in physical fitness, in intramurals, and in recreation, in the new lifestyle that we are all trying to celebrate and enjoy, where we're taking better care of ourselves and making much better use of recreation facilities. So we need to do something about that, and here's what we intend to do. We intend to go over, if I can make this machine cooperate, we intend to go over to the quad, and at the west end of the quad, where the hill runs down toward the football field, to construct a new sports and recreation center. And you are looking at the most recent architect's rendering of what that building will look like, standing back at the east end of the quad, out in front of Alden Memorial, and looking across the quad toward the west side of the campus, toward Park Avenue. There's a big empty space there right now because you're looking down toward the baseball field and the football field. But when we're all done with this project, that is what you will see. It's actually a 5-story building, but you're only seeing the top 2 stories because it's going to be built into the bank that goes down the hill toward the football field. This building will have about 140 square feet of available space. It will have what is called a Stretch 25 swimming pool. That will be a competition quality swimming pool with a diving area at the end of it in the lowest level of the pool. Above that pool there will be a 4-court basketball gymnasium. Above the 4-court gymnasium there will be an indoor track that goes around the top of the facility. There will be racquetball and handball courts. There will be a large fitness center on 2 levels. There will be dance studios for things like Pilates, where people come together and do courses in fitness and so on, and a complete set of offices for our coaches and for our athletics department. So we're very excited about this facility. Here are a few more looks at it. This is down on the baseball field looking toward the, must be about east, that's the west corner of the building that you're seeing right now. If I can get this pointer going, I'm not sure I know how to do that. I won't get too distracted with the details of this, but I do want to point out, you see a little canopy to the left side. That is a walkway that goes between the new building and the Harrington Auditorium, because eventually we can imagine a parking facility down where the baseball field is. I'll say just a word more about that in a moment. But what I really want to show you is the view from Park Avenue. This is going to be a magnificent facility, and you can see the windows in the lower part of the building opening onto the swimming pool, and the windows in the upper part of the building bringing light into the 4-court basketball gymnasium. And you can see how effectively glass and brick and metal are being used in this structure. So we're very excited about this. I want to show you a couple photographs, not of this building because it doesn't exist, but of similar facilities at other colleges and universities. The top shot is of a large open gymnasium space. I've been referring to that. The shot in the lower left-hand corner is of an elevated indoor running track. And what you see in the bottom right-hand corner is typical of what our new swimming pool would look like. Well, that all brings us around to the question of how are we going to pay for all this? And that reminds me to remind you that we are now in the third year of our campaign for WPI, the goal of which is to raise $200 million. Much of that $200 million will go to supporting our students and our faculty, as it should, in the form of student scholarships and endowed professorships for faculty. And I'm very pleased to tell you we have already crossed the $50 million mark in that campaign, so we're a quarter of the way to the goal. But as the trustees reminded me in their meeting yesterday, that's the easy $50 million to raise. So the hard work is yet ahead of us. But of the $200 million, we've identified $90 million for bricks and mortar projects. And of the capital construction projects we intend to do, this building that I've just showed you represents about $50 million worth of construction. So it's part of our campaign goal. We already have some important commitments to this facility. But it is a project that we need to double down and really accelerate our efforts to raise funds for because it is so important to the continuing development of our campus. In fact, we believe that without a facility like this, pretty soon we're going to start facing a very different situation in attempting to recruit the highly competitive students that we've been able to bring to WPI in recent years. This is just one of those expectations that today's students bring as they tour campuses. Many of them actually have had high school facilities that are at least as good as what we're talking about now producing for WPI students, and much better than what we can currently offer for them. So this is a critically important project. So what we've decided to do with the support of the Board of Trustees, and they took this vote yesterday afternoon, so this is hot off the presses, is to proceed to issue some long-term debt sufficient to enable us to begin the construction on this building immediately after commencement this spring. And what they are doing is making a bet on the ability of the administration and the board and the alumni body to succeed in the fundraising for the campaign that is now underway. It's a 7-year campaign. We are in the third year of it, so I'm asking for your help and your creative thought about the ways to advance toward our goal in this capital campaign. But we're going to move ahead with this marvelous facility. WPI really needs it. The students and the faculty and the staff deserve it. This will be a new crossroads on the campus, just like this campus center is. The day this campus center opened, the WPI community realized what a marvelous facility it is, not just as a place to eat or a place to have meetings, but a place to come together, a place to have community. And when you walk through this building during a typical school day, that's exactly what you see. Students and faculty and staff interacting in very intense ways. This building gets a wonderfully high degree of use, and it's a very important part of the quality of life on this campus. This new Recreation and Fitness Center will do very much the same thing for the campus, so it's very important. We're very excited about it, and again, we'll be asking for your help. But I'm very pleased that our board was able to see the importance of this facility and to make such a strong commitment as they have in the last 24 hours.